Okay, so have a question about the use of what they have called psychedelic substances to enhance human consciousness and development. Okay, so we talk generally. Let's go. Okay, so for all of time of mankind, there have been uses for plants for various purposes, for medicine, as we discussed in Question on Medicine, and for health, and for symptom, and for peace, calm, and for also joy. And mankind has always had substances at his disposal which can influence the systems of the body in order to create change wish to see. So to this extent, what has been called in this question psychedelic substances are no different. They have an ability to create change in a person who takes in the herb, the plant, whatever you wish to call it, in the medicine, in order to create the change. So in that respect is all same. Now, for specifics here, psychedelic plant. Okay, let's see. Now, there are many different ones. Some perhaps more readily available, shall we say, than others. We're not here to judge, let's say that to start with, because we don't ever feel that there is a cause to judge, you see. The only time we ever pass comment, like judgment, is for individuals to say to themselves, is this in my best interest or not? You can't do that on a general scale, for everyone is different. So each individual must examine their own usage of such things and say, is this in my interest or not? Is this assisting me? Is this benefiting me? Is this taking me in a journey I wish to go in or not? You see, for many, there will be a point at which it's no longer serving positive purpose at all. And we would say at that point, question your usage, question why you continue, question what it is that it is providing that you are now needing. And we would say seek other substance, seek other alternative lifestyle, seek something else at that moment, because you really don't want to have anything in order to exist. Let's say that. Okay. Now, aside from that, I guess development of human consciousness, no, I would say they have no role whatsoever. They have been around forever. They will be around forever. They have an effect if the person taking the plant believes in it, and you must understand the role here of what has been called collective consciousness. When collective consciousness has placed so much belief in a specific item, a specific thought, a specific object, that has an impact upon all beings, because you are all part of collective consciousness. So for so long, let's take the one that you have mentioned, ayahuasca. Let's take that name, however you wish to pronounce it, and it is pronounced differently across the world. But that plant, that substance, that thing that you take has an awful lot of collective consciousness in it, believing in its abilities to change and transform your mental abilities in order to, let's say, enhance your perspective of what life is, what reality is. So with so much belief in it, it's very easy for other peoples to accept belief in it. Is it actually any more effective than anything else? Well, this is a whole new level of reality, you see, because if your belief is not in the plant, it will do nothing. And this is fact, because there are people for whom they can take any substance that would naturally occur as toxic, as intoxicating, for example, anything like that, and yet their belief can be so powerful that it is irrelevant to their system. There will be no effects whatsoever. So this is what we wish to say are overriding everything, because we always want to get back to the notion of your own personal belief, because belief overrides everything else. But when you have a specific substance such as ayahuasca, which has had so much history of belief pumped into it, it's easy for then somebody else to accept that belief, you see, as their readily as their own belief. So therefore, you are more open to the options that this plant can have on the system. Okay, so when you are experiencing the effects of this plant, this substance, this thing, what are you experiencing? Okay, is it a heightened reality? Not exactly. Is it a greater sense of reality? Well, in as much as it allows you to remove yourself from the physicality of your existence and to approach a understanding of the universal source of which all is. Yes. But you see, for each person, there is still differences, and this is where the individual comes. All these substances allow you to step away from, even for a minute period of time, the physical substance of the world that you are living in, the body you are living in, the planet you are living on. It allows you for a moment in time to be separate from all that is so very physically real to the mind of human. And in doing so, it is creating the space that is required in order to begin to understand, even for a tiny moment, the vastness of what source is, of what eternity, as you could call it in your words, infinity. You see, there is an extensive void. There is the essence of all that is. And you can't really appreciate that whilst you are in physical form. And you're not really supposed to. Because you see, if you were one with the void, one with the source, what so many names that have been called, if you were one with that, then you would cease to be physical. You're not there to cease to be physical. You're there to be 100% spiritual being in a physical situation. So when people are taking substances, what you are doing is allowing the mind to step away from all that is so tangible, so physical, so in quotation mark real for each human being, that you can begin for a moment to experience some of the essence of that which is beyond the physical existence of what you are. Now, there is so much beyond the physical existence of what you are that it would be impossible for each person to take the substance and have the same experience, because there are so many vast experiences beyond the physical experience for you to have. When you intake the substance into your body, there are some physical changes that take place, if you believe in it, which most people will, and most people have the collective consciousness so strong within them that they will believe. So let's just take that as a given for most people. When you take the substance into your system, there are physical effects that take place. Now, those physical effects are not always pleasant, and those physical effects do actually, to a degree, have a purpose. And we would say this because that purpose is to show you that what you are doing is not necessarily supportive of the physical self. Now, this is true for all substances, by the way. Anything that you take that your body has a reaction to should act as an indication for you that perhaps this is not what my body wants me to be doing, at least and especially on a regular long-term basis. Now, does this mean it's wrong to try it, it's wrong to do it? We would say no, we don't judge. But at the same time, listen to your own systems or your own bodies. The reaction that most people have to these substances once they are taking, on a physical sense, is an indication that perhaps physically this is not necessarily the best for your system to continue to take. That being said, the questioner has asked, is this human conscious development? No. It has been around for a long time. It will be around for a long time. It has nothing to do with development. Human consciousness is developing very rapidly, very speedily, generation upon generation now, because of way that planet vibrations are evolving, because of so many things that I won't get into in this message. It will just confuse the issue. But there is a whole rapid advancement in human consciousness now that has nothing whatsoever to do with substance that you are taking into your system. The substance you are taking into your system is an individual choice, an individual process that allows you individually to experience some experience of what is beyond the physical world. It is not a substitute for human conscious development, which is occurring very nicely, thank you very much, without any substance whatsoever. So, if you personally wish to use the substance because of the experiences it is giving you, what we would say to you is this: do you believe it's possible for you to have experience of the world beyond the physical world without the substance? If you can create that belief within you, then you don't need the substance. And it may well be that for your system, it is a far better way for you to move forward in your journey. If you don't believe it's possible for you to experience a world beyond the physical world without the substance, well, then you are locked in to requiring the substance to create the change that you wish to experience in your journey. In which case, we would say to you, make sure you are using it at the right time for the right purposes, not to escape, never to escape, please. No substance should ever be utilized to escape. You see, ancients did at least understand the purpose of all of these medicines, and they are, if you like, medicines. And they never used them to escape what is apparently real, your real world. They never used it to escape that. They would use them for specific purposes. And this is part of what has been lost along the journey, lost along the way, that today substances, plants, medicines have been used to block reality, to escape reality. And this was never their, I won't say their purpose, there was not there anyway, but there's never utilized this way in the past. And it is a change that has occurred, that people block feelings they don't like, experience of life they don't want, by utilizing substances and experiences in a way of escaping what is their, quote, real life. Well, there are many ways to change your real life. We discussed in the earlier question of vibrational universe that you really don't need to do anything so drastic in order to create change. Physical body is one aspect of life, and we are here to be physical. So we would say for most people, don't escape the physical. Don't try to escape being physical. You're here to be 100% physical. You see, the world that you are in is the experience you have chosen, and it is a gift. Because after this gift of your life is gone, you will continue. That there is no doubt. There is so much more experience to have. You chose this experience of physicality. Now think on that. Think on that. It's not an accident. You chose it. Now, if the life you are experiencing is not one that is creating joy for you, your only responsibility is to change it so that your life is creating joy for you. Because your own personal joy is all that really matters. In the creation of your personal joy, you are lifting the sum of joy for all entity, all source ever existed. That's a huge topic to get into, and we will not. But your personal joy is all that you are here for. So if you try to escape the reality of the world that you are living in, then we would say to you that you are missing the point of being spiritual being in a physical world. You're here to be physical, 100%. Your spirituality is the fact. Your spirituality is the given, you see. It's the physical that's so changeable. It's the physical that's so malleable. It's the physical that is so pliable for you as human beings. And it's what's been so misinterpreted throughout so long, that the spiritual you is the essence. The spiritual you is the bit that's not changing. It doesn't have to be found. It doesn't have to be grasped. It doesn't have to be sought after. That's a given. The physical you is so malleable. It's like changing your clothes. It's like changing your plasticine shape. You get to do that anytime you want by changing the thoughts, changing the actions, changing the beliefs, creating anew. And yes, substances can assist with that, but they can also very easily become a path separate from your physicality. And that is something that they are not to be used for. So all these so-called, in the questioner, psychedelic substances can have a place if you wish to experience a world beyond that which you are experiencing, and you don't believe that there is another way for you to do that. But we would say always look to why you're using, always look to how you're using, and always make sure that it is serving the purpose you wish for it to serve. Never allow it to block your reality. Never allow it to become your reality, because you are not here to escape your physicalness. You are here to relish it, to be at one with it, to embody your spirituality within that pure physicality that is human beings. So we hope we have answered the question. If there is more specifics that the questioner would like us to address, they are free to ask again. That is all we wish to have to say at this time. With love.